Yo, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a new video on the Kiefer channel, the English one, the OG channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a lovely day as always, and the day is even getting better. Another esports on board, this time in Spielberg, Austria, the Red Bull Ring Home GP, and I've got something special in store for you. Some of you actually are in love with these team radios, so I thought on this race in particular, because we had a inter to dry conditions, mixed conditions, transition, and we were communicating a lot because the transition phase, we were not sure when it would be hitting, when it's the right time to pit, and so I'm showing you all of the footage where we were discussing it. So for a long period of time, you will only hear the team radio and nothing else. And I hope you will enjoy it. If you do, if you want to see more of that, and if you want to see more esports on board, also bring League Racing back. It will be back on the 18th. There's the first race on Twitch as well, in PSGL season 32, I believe. I will be racing there. Then let me know, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new here, you're a legend if you already did, and hit the bell to not miss any further videos in the future. But for now, let's stop the talking, enjoy the racing, and I will see you later. And here we go. This is qualifying in Austria, the Red Bull Ring Spielberg, our home GP. Well, for the real team, also for the virtual one, of course, we have the same kind of location and everything. So yeah, usually it was a really good track for me in F1 2020, 2021. It was a bit worse, but in 2022, I really did enjoy it, especially this part, turn 3 and the next corner, turn 4. I don't know. I mean, I felt like I drove it super clean. And also faster there. If I committed too much, I felt like I was just about to spin out, and or like I was just losing time over pushing. And if I didn't, it was apparently still too slow. So yeah, no idea what to do, no idea how to reply to that. But yeah, in this section I was fairly decent usually, didn't struggle as much. It was just about carrying momentum last two corners. Also, it was still a bit slower usually than Freddy. Freddy was super cracked in sector 3, so yeah, it was one of my weaker tracks. I think sector 1 actually was my best sector if I hit it right. In the end it was just one corner. Yeah, I was clapping because I knew I was through. Just need top 15 was enough for that. And yeah, we made it in P8. Also within a 10th of the fastest driver, so it was looking good, feeling good. And now heading to Q2, which was actually, this lap was pretty important because you will see in the end, it was a really tight one compared to my Delta, and it was not a great lap. It was not the greatest lap of all time. Already starting off Delta a little bit red, but now heading into turn 1, not carrying a lot of speed, getting wheel spin here on the exit curve, which you totally want to avoid, but we couldn't. Made a mistake, cost me a lot of time. And now going into the hairpin, also not great. We gained a little bit on the entry, but on the exit for some reason it was slower again. So yeah, super confused what was going on. Again, this is one of these moments where I was just like, why is it slow? This line should not be slow, but apparently it was. Then here, Mr. Apex, little front right lockup, half a tenth cost another insane corner where I could not understand how was that half a tenth compared to my Delta that I set on fresh tires in Q2 like way earlier, and now the grip should be much more, and we gained half a tenth back in this corner, so not too bad. Currently in P8, right behind Jarno, and in the last corner I committed as much as I could, and we were just going to cross the line with the same Delta, but we improved by a few thousandths because the Delta was clogged, and so this is P8 for now. Small improvement, really not a lot. My first lap was really good, and you can see Jarno and I super close dropping out from Q2 into Q3, but we made it through. So a Q3 appearance after that frustrating Silverstone session that we had in event 1. That felt pretty decent, of course, not the way I wanted to go through, but it was enough, all good. Now the final lap in Q3, you can see for fresh tires, this is not even that fast. Like, this is not the fastest. First sector you will see is 9.35, I believe, and it's not actually that fast. We were not purple. Then locking up the rears a little bit, going into the hairpin, we still gain because it's a Delta from old compound tires, so already used tires from Q2 or Q1. and yeah, it was just not looking great. Then in turn 4 we missed the apex slightly, not big, but then heading onto the curb here a little bit, which didn't help at all. Into this section, fairly decent. I'm not sure if 5th or 6th gear was the fastest way. So we have 362 sector split, which is not too fast. I think a high 2 would have been acceptable, but this is not where we want to be at this point of the lap. In quali 3, also not hooking up the curb perfectly, but still did alright. And right here, just taking it clean to not invalidate, and it's only a 3.802, which is just not good enough. The effort was not good enough, unfortunately. And with that, my teammate is on pole with 1.5 tenths clear of me, and I'm P10. So yeah, pretty frustrating is what it is. We still made it to Q3. Now we just have to make sure the race is gonna end well for us. And it's raining. What I did is, usually if it's inter and going to dry up, we are trying to go for a somewhat like hybrid setup, so increase the wings a little bit, not too much, so we have a bit more grip, but I increased also the wing gap to have more rotation, which was a big mistake. And you can see I'm already struggling here for traction, so with a bigger wing gap the traction will be harder. Now we have 3 wide. Dani Moreno had a great start with that, also John Evans, because we are on the inside, went through. They both could carry more momentum down the straight. We were still side by side with Dani, but of course we need to make sure we are not hitting anyone, and we are not doing that. I nearly hit Jano. I don't know if I did, but I got punted from the rear. I think it was Alvaro. I'm not sure, but that made me also lose a bit of traction for the exit. So yeah, another fairly unlucky situation here. And I just decided, all right, it's a long race. Let's not do anything stupid against Dani. Clean battle with him. Good stuff from him, and we already saw maybe we can benefit from Moreno and John Evans. Moreno knows the first lap is really important, so far we've lost 2 positions, and that's not really good. John Evans is going too early on the power, a little bit of wheel spin, and we benefit from that. Use our ERS, he's reacting a bit too late, nearly clips our front wing, but now the inside for these 2 corners, especially in the wets, is super important, and we go ahead of him. I think he's just at our rear wheel, so he needs to yield that position. Good battle with him. I think a little bit hard racing. I'm not sure if he felt like I treated him unfair here. I hope not. I think kind of was my corner in the end. You can decide for yourself. Anyways, back into P11, so -1 position from the starting position. You can see I had Brandon and Jano fighting, and Jano's also taking advantage of what Dani was doing. Going for the outside, it's easier to get a power down. Makes a good move from Brandon here, moves into P8.
So we're looking at another 5, maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, and we are checking already the weather conditions.
Says maybe 5 to 10 minutes of this rain.
And in a few seconds I will leave you with raw, nearly raw footage, just a couple of cuts, so you have a kind of more bunched up team radio where we were discussing overlaps, how the situation is looking, how we are gonna react. So that's how we work in F1 Esports, and I hope you will learn something from it. I hope you will find it interesting. If you do, leave a like up, thumbs up, and yeah, enjoy. I will leave you now with the team radio.
As a reminder, the earliest we can pit is lap 13.
Gamble with me? Oh no, we can't, right?
Just evaluating the medium option, Marcel.
We need it now.
It's definitely going to be a hard.
Hard?
Yeah, it's going to be a one-stop hard.
Hard? Can they make it to the end?
Yeah,
my suggestion would be lap 13 for a hard, but we could maybe get it from lap 11.
That's too late to pit.
Yeah.
Next lap. Should I pit? Do we risk it?
So a hard can do 31 laps according to Liam.
Okay. Yeah, I think
it's too early for a boxer's lap.
What? What?
It's too early, Marcel. It's too early.
I just thought I heard slap. hard to make it to the end.
Only quite close, but my time when I can do 21 laps and out.
Okay. I guess this one's up to you guys and where you think the grip is. I guess we do from Marcel opposite Freddie.
Yep.
Cool.
So pit,
If you think it's ready.
I think this one next lap. Should also be right at the crossover.
What's your thoughts, Freddie?
Your wear's usually really good, Marcel, so if you want to risk it.
Freddy doesn't go next up, I think I will. Depends on where he comes from.
What do we think of the wear for a medium?
No, you can make it video.
Could you repeat that, sorry?
Wouldn't make it to the end.
Okay.
At this point the only option is hards, and I think even the hard is risky right now.
Okay, radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now. Inters seem to be the
I
fastest
think we
tyre
just
for
have a
now.
lot of deg towards the end, but we don't want to lose the time in the crossover.
I think it's still too early. Track is barely drawing up right now.
So you can also ask for tire status or pit
I
waypoint.
don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a little while longer.
Staying into for a little while longer. I would agree so.
So as a reminder, if we get to lap 15, we will then select the medium.
Okay.
And your mic's leaking external noise.
Mine.
No, damn, it's fine.
Do we know the ERS from anyone around me?
I'll let you know if there's anything.
Your ERS, Freddy? 90? 70 only.
Do we have eyes on Philip that is pitted? Do we have somebody that's pit?
I don't think
It's still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
I think it's really close. I think it's this lap. I think I could have hit a fuck.
No, Marcel, President at 5 seconds off the pace in the middle sector. President at 5 seconds off the pace in the middle sector.
Right.
Correct on the hard.
yes, I remember it's not core times.
How do we think the warm-up is in the wet, the hards?
That'll be awful.
Okay.
Just off the better, of course.
Looking like President has lost about 10 seconds on this lap.
He's still losing.
Yep.
Yeah, he's losing at it.
Going out then.
Right, we're no longer sure that these tyres are the right ones. It might be time to come in and change.
Game doesn't know anymore if it's the right tyre.
Definitely not the right time for a dry yet. President is still 3 seconds off in the middle sector.
Would we be willing to gamble a lap 14 on the mediums question?
I could try that. There's one with you.
Yeah, I think you can try it myself.
I think that'd be worth the risk.
What pressure are you looking?
Actually, I lost 6 times second one. I need to go below 6.
Middle sectors, we're going to be losing it because of the high speeds.
9/10 in the middle section
Check
as
your
well.
MFD for a new strategy
I'm
option.
betting. The game's also telling to put.
I might fit.
Sure.
Understood, copy that.
Is he faster?
He's still losing time by the looks of things.
So,
Last sector, only 6 laps off this one.
Freddie, are you 10?
I'll stay out.
It's definitely close. Probably next lap.
Marcel, do you not want to wait for a medium?
I'm going for medium. Oh fuck. Yeah. Oh fuck, that caught me out. Yeah. I thought it's already right lap. Oh my. Fuck it.
We have a couple more cars gambling on dry, so we'll keep you updated.
Drivers going into mediums.
How's the pace of the race, guys? Like, can you see the exit delta, if it's shrinking or
I
not?
think this is a pretty good lap now. Actually, I purple last now.
Yeah,
Ready
pressure
coming
the final sector.
Ready coming in? Ready coming in?
No core ready.
See in? Yeah.
Ready's in.
So my teammate already pit in the next lap. We were going for the pit stop, and actually we didn't lose out any positions. I'm not sure where Y-Gang was coming from. I think he was further ahead usually, and he was also in the hard compound, which probably didn't help on the outlap. Many of them maybe went for the hard, I don't remember. Maybe only Simon. But anyways, we didn't lose out any positions. We came out behind Moreno. We are in the train, so this is a good situation. We have fresher compound tires. Now Moreno in lap 20. After a few laps of no action, is going for a move from Simon Y-Gang, and in the meanwhile, Simon actually, he got a penalty, 3-second penalty for corner cutting, and Moreno makes the move because Simon outbraked himself a little bit too much, which made Dani possible to go down the straight, and in the next lap immediately I had to react, because the hard compound from Simon are not gonna help me in any way if I want to make progress, and Simon, the gentleman, German mates, thank you very much for not fighting me hard here. He wasn't using his ERS, he had a penalty, he knew, hey, there's no point in fighting myself. Anyways, I have a penalty. Now I'm saying thank you very much with a little weave, and you can see in the mirror, he was also weaving because he knew exactly. I was saying thank you. What a legend. And now skipping to lap 34, so a lot of laps of no action because of a massive train you can see ahead. Brandon and Barry Berman are fighting hard this lap, and this is gonna make it really interesting because our group is getting split up by the group ahead, which means in the end we can maybe benefit from these two fighting and gain up to 3 places potentially if everything goes right. I make a little mistake here, outbraking myself. Glad to avoid the rear of Dani with the way I braked. Got a bit too close for my liking, and now Barry and Brent are both already flashing, whilst we have still fairly decent amount of ERS, and Dani Moreno probably too. Now he's touching Brent a little bit here. I think Brent is also going to touch him. Yeah, they're both trying to maintain position, but Dani has the inside line, more ERS, fresher tires, hard to fend off for Brandon, but he still did a really good job. Now in the last lap, the action is about to kick off, because we need to also make a move. We are currently in our starting position. Brandon has lower ERS. I think he has a little bit lower wings because he's not that slow on the straight. Of course, with the slipstream we have the ERS advantage. We brake super late to go for the outside line, go into the curb. Perfect space from Brandon. I think we made a little bit of contact here, not much. And now Brandon is trying to look for a move, but he's thinking about, well, that's not worth. We're probably just gonna spin out. Super clean battle. Really had fun here. kudos to Brandon for keeping it clean. Good fight. I don't know what happened between him and Simon, but Simon went past. We are now in P9, so we gain 1 position. We were hoping there's maybe some action between Bari, Beresnay and Moreno with Blakely, but nobody had a penalty, and that's just what the situation was looking like in the end. P9. On your German channel, a lot of you wanted to have like a little review of the race and the whole GP. So I thought, why not add that also to the English video? If you're not interested, then have a lovely day. I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Peace. But if you want to hear my opinion on what happened, then yeah. Just little review of qualifying. Quali 1 was solid. Quali 2, bit rough. Quali 3, not acceptable. Wasn't good enough. Struggled the whole, especially turn 3. Messed it up completely. Turn 4, missing the apex. My usual struggles on this track in F1 22. So yeah, just didn't do a good job under pressure. Nothing else to add. Just P10. And in the race, I had a terrible start. I made a big mistake with, well, doing this stupid experiment with thinking I could extend the wing gap more than I actually should have done it. Should have just kept the same wing gap and increased the wing a little bit, so it's more like an inter-dry mixed conditions setup. So I'm not losing too much if it turns too dry too early. Yeah, so I struggled in the traction zones and had a rough start. Then I think we did a pretty solid race. Team communication was on point. I think we nailed it. And in the end, it was just enough for P9, 1 position gain. Should have been more. Wasn't. So yeah, end of the day. Bit frustrating, but yeah, we still did a fairly alright job. Anyways, I think the next race is Spa, so look forward to that. It will probably going live in 2 days' time. So I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day, everyone. Take care. Peace.